Think about a moment when the ground simply dropped out from under you. A sudden layoff, a brutal breakup, a move to a new city where you don't know a single soul. When our lives fracture, the human brain instinctively scrambles to find order somewhere else. That search often leads to what we might call soft armor against uncertainty. Astrology offers the comforting suggestion that your personal chaos is actually part of a pre-written chart, assuring you that the universe has a specific plan for the mess. Reaching for that cosmic explanation during a crisis is a fundamental survival instinct. It is a way to feel held when the world feels like it's shaking. Psychologists have identified a specific cognitive glitch that makes these descriptions feel so accurate: the Barnum effect. It occurs when we take vague, universally flattering statements and convince ourselves they were written exclusively for us. The horoscope provides an empty frame, but your brain does the heavy lifting. You actively reach back into your own life to find the exact memories that make the label fit. When researchers looked closely at who leans hardest into these beliefs, they found a connection to a trait called vulnerable narcissism. This isn't a loud ego. It's a quiet, fragile desire to be seen and understood. But the utility of the system changes when it moves from an internal comfort to an external filter. We have to look at what happens when you take a cosmic identity and use it to categorize a total stranger before they've even spoken. Turning an internal label outward changes its function. It moves from a point of personal reflection to a method of categorizing strangers based on traits they may not even possess. To watch this labeling mechanism spread in real time, we can look at China. Western astrology didn't really arrive there until the 1990s, riding in on Taiwanese variety shows. Cultural adoption happened at lightning speed. By 2013, astrological sign had climbed to the 5th most popular search term on Baidu, the country's dominant search engine. Along the way, one sign drew the short straw. The Chinese word used for Virgo carries the literal meaning virgin, a linguistic accident that dragged along an entire cloud of negative associations. Suddenly, millions of people were branded as fussy, cold, and impossible to please, based entirely on a translation. This personality verdict affecting an entire generation was not born from observing human behavior. It was manufactured out of a dictionary entry. A stereotype is just a rumor until someone with power acts on it. A team of researchers led by Jackson Liu at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology decided to test if the Virgo reputation had actual teeth in the professional world. They handed 351 real human resources professionals identical applicant resumes. The only variable they changed was the applicant's birthday, which shifted them into being either a Virgo or a Leo. This diagram shows a clear pattern of bias. Even with identical qualifications, managers systematically diverted Virgo applicants toward the maybe later pile, leaning toward Leos. This highlights a broader trend. Roughly 40% of hiring managers admit astrological signs come up when deciding on applicants. When gatekeepers use these labels to filter applications, a cultural meme becomes a physical barrier to someone's livelihood. A maybe later pile decided by a birth month is an active form of discrimination. This raises the obvious question: is there actual truth to the traits these managers are judging? Researchers launched a massive effort to find any correlation between signs and reality. This scatterplot charts a dataset of over 173,000 people, comparing their birth signs against their measured Big Five personality traits. The result is a flat line. There is no measurable link between your sign and how outgoing, anxious, or agreeable you actually are. The belief itself, however, does correlate with other behaviors. A French study found that a strong belief in astrology often lives in the same room as other real-world prejudices, including harsher attitudes toward outsiders and more sexist views. Every time we sort friends into Zodiac archetypes, we are rehearsing a specific muscle of judgment. We are actively practicing the ability to collapse a complex human being into a flat, easily dismissible category. We end up punishing real people, denying them jobs, dates, and friendships because they failed to live up to a cosmic cartoon archetype with no anchor in reality. The solution isn't necessarily to throw astrology away. It is to change the direction in which we point the lens. Pointed outward at strangers, astrology functions as a prejudice machine. Pointed inward, it acts as a poetic language for self-reflection, a way to ask honest questions about who you want to become. The next time you feel a spark of recognition when hearing someone's sign, pause. That spark is your brain trying to make a stranger legible so you can feel safe. While the stars serve as a mirror for your own reflection, they fail as a judge for the rest of the world. Real insight requires setting the chart aside and allowing the human in front of you to be exactly who they are.